Wind howled throughout the night, carrying a scent that would change the world. A tall shade lifted his head and sniffed the air. He looked human except for his crimson hair and maroon eyes. This was the first paragraph of the first chapter of the first book of a cycle of books that earned fame throughout the literary world and also had a terrible movie made on them. And today I'm going to review Aragon of the Inheritance Cycle. Now, to make this clear, Aragon or the Inheritance Cycle in general is no masterpiece. This is not at the level of the Lord of the Rings or the Wheel of Time or the Name of the Wind, but it is an idea created by a 15-year-old. Yes, this book was written by a 15-year-old. So don't click away yet thinking that this is a 15-year-old book who would have written A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, not at all. This book actually sold in the millions throughout the world, and I think most book reviewers would know about it. And this is pretty highly rated, although they horribly messed up with the movie, as I've told you in the book facts video. 7. And it is in this book it is related to the land of Alagasia, a fictional world. Obviously this is entirely fantasy. Don't even dare to try to book a ticket to Alagasia. You won't get anywhere. The best you have is this map and 4 books and another book which is the Fog, the Worm and the Witch or something. Because you cannot expect high levels of mastery in a book written by a 15-year-old. So this was published in 2001 when Christopher Paolini was just about an adult. Nice, he had to be an adult to be able to publish this book. That's not entirely true, right? Yes, it's true. After this, 3 more books were released and the cycle was completed to 4, right? He actually intended it to be 3 books at first, but then he realized he was writing it too long, so he had to make it 4. Now, this book is approximately just over 600 pages. The last page being this, which is actually a note from Christopher Paolini, and his last words are that he's very sorry for making his characters go against all kinds of harm, and that is very true. Now, the main protagonist of this story is a boy named Aragon, who is a namesake of a legendary elf, and the entire purpose of this book, or the theme of this book, are dragons. You know, have you ever read the Dragon Riders of Pern? I haven't either, but its author, Anne McCaffrey, I think that's her name, written just about here. Yes, Anne McCaffrey, author of the Dragon Riders of Pern series. And at the very start of the book is praise for Christopher Paolini, where a lot of good things are written. Example, from the Publishers Weekly, School Library Journal, Booklist, New York Times Book Review, and all of that. I've only heard of the New York Times Book Review, neither of the other ones, unfortunately. So, now, young Paolini was inspired by this book from his hometown in Montana. I don't know the state. He's from the United States of America. So his parents actually had a publishing company, and that's why he was able to publish this book as soon as he finished it. No, that's not actually the case. He had to develop a map, then he had to make a note, then he had to do all sorts of stuff. Just writing a book is not necessary. And his entire family helped him with this book, like making the page cover, then building all of this and this and this, and editing, and making a storyline. And all of this was obviously ruined by the movie. I will never forget how horrific they made Aragon the movie after the success of the books. Now, the last book of this series was published on 2011. Unfortunately, and since then, from the world of Alagasia, there's just been 1 book, and Christopher Paolini has been teasing another book from Alagasia, which has not come out yet. It will come in an year's time or something. So besides from uprooting the grass, this book gets an A plus minus. No, it gets an A, right? Because it's a good book, although some age groups might find it really hard to understand, because somehow Paolini has found some words which even I haven't. I still don't understand how to describe the landscapes of some places. Now, Aragon finds an egg. No, not this egg. I'm talking about this egg. Yes, this is the size you're talking about. It is a blue egg. Have you ever seen a blue egg? No, you haven't. You have to dye a white egg to make a blue egg. But it turns out he becomes a dragon rider, a legacy which is older than me, you, everyone watching this video, and their entire families combined in age. Thank you very much.